In the heart of Charlotte, North Carolina, nestled in a quiet suburban neighborhood, two girls grew up side by side. Olivia Harper and Rachel Monroe were inseparable from the moment they met in kindergarten. Their bond was forged through countless shared experiences, sleepovers filled with giggles and secrets, school projects that required late-night brainstorming sessions, and college dorm rooms where dreams were born and nurtured. They complemented each other perfectly. Olivia, the ambitious and outspoken dreamer who wanted to be a journalist, always had big plans for her future. Rachel, quieter but fiercely intelligent, dreamed of becoming a lawyer. Together, they seemed unstoppable. Their friendship was envied by many, a rare kind of connection built on mutual support, trust, and admiration. But beneath its surface lay cracks neither could see clearly. A subtle rivalry simmered between them, masked by years of camaraderie. It wasn't overt or malicious at first glance, but it existed nonetheless, a competition neither acknowledged yet both felt deeply. This rivalry would eventually come to define their relationship when ambition collided with betrayal. As adults, both women pursued successful careers. Olivia found her place in corporate communications after abandoning journalism, while Rachel excelled in legal research. Then came the turning point, an opportunity at Monroe and Lancaster, one of the most prestigious law firms in the city. The firm announced an opening for a lead strategist position, a role so coveted that only the best could hope to secure it. Both Olivia and Rachel applied, setting the stage for a clash that would test not just their ambitions, but their friendship as well. At first, they treated it like any other friendly competition. Promising to keep things light-hearted, they agreed that whoever won wouldn't let success damage their bond. Yet, as the interview process unfolded, tensions began to rise. What started as playful jabs turned into pointed remarks, and the unspoken rivalry grew louder. Little did they know, this competition would unravel everything they thought they knew about each other, and themselves. From childhood onward, Olivia and Rachel's friendship thrived on reinforcement. When Olivia ran for class president in high school, Rachel managed her campaign tirelessly, crafting speeches and organizing rallies. In return, Olivia helped Rachel prepare for her mock trial competitions, quizzing her relentlessly until she felt confident enough to face judges. Each victory became a shared celebration, reinforcing their belief that they were stronger together. But even during these early days, hints of competition surfaced. Olivia's natural charisma often overshadowed Rachel's quieter brilliance. At parties, people gravitated toward Olivia's magnetic personality, leaving Rachel feeling overlooked despite her sharp wit. Meanwhile, Rachel sometimes viewed Olivia's impulsiveness as reckless, questioning whether her bold moves were truly calculated or merely impetuous. These small disagreements were brushed aside, chalked up to harmless differences in style. Over time, however, they added up, creating invisible fissures in their otherwise solid foundation. By their late 20s, both women had carved out promising careers. Olivia worked as a senior communications specialist for a Fortune 500 company, earning accolades for her strategic thinking and ability to navigate complex corporate landscapes. Rachel, meanwhile, had established herself as a rising star in the legal world, known for her meticulous attention to detail and analytical prowess. Despite their different paths, they remained close, meeting regularly to discuss work challenges and personal triumphs. The announcement of the lead strategist position at Monroe and Lancaster changed everything. For weeks, they prepared separately, poring over case studies and practicing answers to potential interview questions. Initially, they maintained a veneer of friendliness, exchanging tips and encouragement. "You've got this," Olivia told Rachel after one particularly grueling practice session. "Your brain is unmatched." "Thanks," Rachel replied, though her smile didn't quite reach her eyes. "And you're unstoppable. They'd be crazy not to hire either of us." Yet, as the interviews progressed, the stakes grew higher, and the tension between them thickened. Olivia's usual confidence morphed into arrogance, bordering on condescension. She made offhand comments about how easily she could handle the job, implying that Rachel might struggle under pressure. Rachel, ever the perfectionist, doubled down on her preparation, working long hours to ensure she left no stone unturned. Her quiet determination took on an almost ruthless edge, making her seem colder than before. One evening, after a particularly exhausting round of interviews, Rachel confided in Olivia about her nerves. "I just feel like they're looking for someone with presence," she admitted hesitantly. "And we both know you have that more than me." Olivia laughed, trying to ease the tension. "Rachel, come on. You're literally the smartest person I know. They'd be lucky to have you." Rachel forced a smile, but something in her expression shifted. "Let's just see what happens," she said softly, her voice tinged with resignation. That night, as Olivia drove home, she couldn't shake the image of Rachel's uncertain face. Was it possible that Rachel really doubted herself? Or was this another sign of weakness, an opening Olivia could exploit? The thought lingered in the back of her mind, growing darker with every mile. The day the firm was set to announce its decision arrived like a storm cloud looming over their lives. Olivia sat at her desk, staring at her computer screen, when the email popped up in her inbox. Anonymous sender. Subject line vague but ominous. Attached was a document, a confidential report detailing inconsistencies in Rachel's past legal cases. According to the allegations, Rachel had fabricated certain findings to secure favorable rulings for clients. Olivia froze. Her heart raced as she skimmed the contents, searching for evidence of fabrication. If true, this could destroy Rachel's career. But if false, someone was deliberately sabotaging her. Who would do such a thing? And why? For a moment, Olivia considered deleting the email. It wasn't her responsibility to deal with this mess. But then doubt crept in. Could Rachel really be guilty? Had all those years of friendship been built on lies? Worse still, if the claims were accurate, how could she continue supporting someone capable of such unethical behavior? A darker voice whispered in her ear, "This is your chance." If she forwarded the email to the hiring committee, she could protect herself from association with scandal. More importantly, it would eliminate Rachel from the competition once and for all. Olivia wrestled with the idea, knowing it crossed a moral line. But ambition has a way of dulling one's conscience, and soon enough, she typed out a brief message explaining her concern. Later that evening, with trembling fingers, she hit send. Rachel's disqualification came swiftly and mercilessly. The firm launched an internal review, citing concerns about her professional integrity. While the allegations were never fully proven, the mere suggestion of misconduct was enough to tarnish her reputation irreparably. Rachel was called into a meeting, where executives delivered the news with clinical detachment. Her candidacy was rescinded without further explanation. Devastated, Rachel turned to Olivia, hoping for answers, or at least comfort. Instead, she found only hollow platitudes. "I don't understand how this happened," Rachel pleaded. "Who would do this to me?" "I have no idea, Rach," Olivia replied, feigning shock. "This is insane." Rachel nodded, forcing herself to believe Olivia's innocence. After all, they were best friends. Surely Olivia wouldn't betray her like this. Yet, as days passed, doubts began to creep in. She replayed conversations in her mind, searching for clues. Why had Olivia seemed so distant right before the announcement? How had she gained access to those confidential documents? And why had Olivia landed the job so effortlessly? Then, one fateful afternoon, Rachel discovered the truth. While going through old emails, she stumbled upon the forwarded message Olivia had sent to the hiring committee. A technical glitch revealed metadata hidden within the file, metadata that exposed Olivia as the sender. Rachel's hands trembled as she stared at the screen. Betrayal coursed through her veins like poison, consuming her with rage and sorrow. She had trusted Olivia completely, believing their friendship invincible. Now, she realized how wrong she had been. Fueled by anger and heartbreak, Rachel refused to let Olivia walk away unscathed. She reported the incident to Monroe and Lancaster, providing detailed evidence of Olivia's involvement. The firm, eager to distance itself from controversy, terminated Olivia's contract immediately. But Rachel wasn't satisfied. She filed a defamation lawsuit against Olivia, accusing her of deliberately ruining her career. The ensuing trial became a media circus. Former colleagues testified on both sides, painting conflicting portraits of the two women. Some praised Olivia's talent and dedication, dismissing the allegations as exaggerated. Others described her as ruthlessly ambitious, willing to step on anyone to achieve her goals. Rachel, too, faced scrutiny, with critics questioning whether the original accusations against her held merit. Throughout the proceedings, Olivia maintained her innocence, insisting she had acted out of concern rather than malice. "I believed Rachel was in trouble," she told reporters outside the courthouse. "I never intended to harm her." But Rachel's attorneys countered with damning evidence, including testimony from experts who analyzed the metadata and confirmed Olivia's role in forwarding the email. Ultimately, the jury sided with Rachel, awarding her substantial damages. However, the victory felt hollow. The firm declined to reinstate her, wary of associating with anyone involved in such public drama. Though legally vindicated, Rachel found herself adrift, her career stalled and her faith in humanity shaken. Meanwhile, Olivia struggled to rebuild her life. Once admired for her tenacity, she now bore the stigma of being a liar and a cheat. Opportunities dried up, forcing her to leave Charlotte and start anew elsewhere. Yet, wherever she went, whispers followed her, reminding her of the choices that led to her downfall. Months later, just as Rachel began to settle into a new normal, another anonymous email appeared in her inbox. This one contained a single sentence: "It wasn't Olivia." Attached was the original email Olivia had forwarded, complete with metadata revealing the true sender, a disgruntled former colleague of Rachel's, someone who had long harbored resentment against her. Rachel stared at the screen, her mind reeling. Everything she thought she knew unraveled in an instant. Olivia hadn't fabricated the allegations, she had merely passed along information she believed credible. Still, that didn't excuse her actions. By forwarding the email, Olivia had knowingly participated in Rachel's downfall, driven by jealousy and ambition. Torn between fury and guilt, Rachel debated reaching out to Olivia. What could she say? An apology felt inadequate, given the scale of the destruction she had caused. Yet, silence seemed equally untenable. In the end, she chose neither, letting the email sit unanswered in her drafts folder. 2 years passed. Life moved forward, though neither woman returned to the version of herself she once knew. Olivia rebuilt her career, founding a consulting firm focused on helping women navigate corporate power struggles. Her public persona exuded strength and resilience, but behind closed doors, shadows lingered in her eyes. Rachel, too, found a measure of success in the legal field, though it never brought the satisfaction she craved. She avoided headlines, preferring to work quietly and efficiently. Occasionally, she caught glimpses of Olivia in the news, photos of her speaking at conferences, smiling confidently for cameras. Each sighting stirred mixed emotions: anger, regret, and a lingering sadness for what they had lost. One evening, as Rachel scrolled through articles online, she stumbled upon a profile piece about Olivia. The photo accompanying the story stopped her cold. There was a hardness in Olivia's gaze, a weariness etched into her features that hadn't been there before. Rachel stared at the image, remembering the girl she used to know, the one who laughed uncontrollably at bad jokes and stayed up all night helping her study for exams. She considered drafting an apology, typing out words she hoped might mend some part of their broken friendship. But ultimately, she deleted the draft, knowing it wouldn't change anything. Some wounds run too deep to heal, no matter how much time passes. In the end, they had both lost. Friendship, tested by ambition and betrayal, had transformed love into hatred, trust into poison. And in their case, two best friends had become the worst of enemies, proving that sometimes the people closest to you are the ones who can hurt you the most.